Sure. I am Detective Brianna Selsvold. I have worked for the St. Charles County Police Department for 7 years. I spent 2 years on patrol, 4 years in the drug unit, and the last year and change here in ICAC. And it has been some of the most rewarding work I've done the entire time I've been a police officer. So it's pretty incredible. And Missouri ICAC is actually based here out of St. Charles County Police Department. We're the lead agency for Missouri ICAC.
So what is technology-facilitated abuse of children?
Today, actually, it's becoming more and more prevalent just because of the amount of time people are spending online and using different applications and things like that. But the abuse against children with technology is primarily around human trafficking with child abuse and then child sexual exploitation and enticement. So obviously when people are online looking at any sort of child pornography, that's considered abuse against a child, as well as when they're online trying to groom children and get them to either send photos or meet up with them in person and conduct some sort of sexual activity. So any of those are going to be considered your technology facilitated crimes against children.
Are you seeing more cases of technology-facilitated abuse during social distancing?
We're seeing actually about twice as many as we were before. We operate not solely, but largely based on what are called cyber tips. So we receive cyber tips from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Those are gathered by them from different electronic service providers, so Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. Any of those service providers are mandated in order to send in reports of any incidents of child exploitation on their devices or on their applications. And we have seen twice as many come in since COVID has hit and people have been social distancing and staying at home and in turn obviously using the internet and those applications more and more. So it's definitely of concern that there's so many children out there that are either sending these things or just getting online and having to talk to these predators. Before we were receiving about 200 to 300 cyber tips per month just in Missouri, and now we're up to around 700. So it's quite substantially increased.
What are some signs of technology-facilitated abuse? What should we be looking for?
It's kind of a hit or miss. You're going to see some kids that are going to show more signs. They might start acting differently. It can be any change in personality. You know your kid better than any of us are going to. So just pay attention. If something has changed with them, or if they're becoming more secretive and they don't want to show you their phones, their computers, anything that they're using online, sometimes they're going to stay in their room more often, or they're going to go in a secret spot or a more private area where they can access all of these online accounts and not have any interruptions, whether that be siblings or parents or anyone else. If a kid starts getting unexplained gifts, whether it be money or music downloads or additional games, whether that be applications or depending on the video game, you can buy certain things in those. Any of those things are going to be clues that, hey, where are they getting this money from? And it's worth asking the question. And just remember, one of the things we come across a lot is that parents want to give their children privacy, and I respect that. However, we are their parents for a reason, and it's our responsibility to make sure that we're getting in there. We bought those phones, we bought those computers. We have the absolute right to go in and look through whatever we want. It's important to have a good relationship with your kid, but at some point, kids are not always going to make the best decisions. None of us did. So it's understandable, but it's something where we need to be constantly vigilant about maintaining an understanding of what they're doing online.
Is there any other information you can share with us about how to keep kids safe from technology-facilitated abuse right now?
Number one thing that I always tell parents is, there's a ton of stalker apps out there that are available for parents to use on their kids for their computers or their phones or anything else. But the number one thing that you can do is maintain that open relationship with your child. Have an open line of communication. Even if you're mad, let them tell you what they've done wrong and then help them fix it. Don't get so upset with them so that they can't talk to you. Just let them know, hey, we need to address this. Maybe this wasn't the right thing to do, but my number one concern is to protect you. And it's not about you getting in trouble or you doing the wrong thing. We all mess up. We all messed up when we were kids, but we have to protect you because nobody else is going to do it, and that's our job.
What do we do if we suspect technology-facilitated abuse?
So you can call the Missouri Child Abuse and Neglect Hotline. You can also go to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Their website is just ncmec.org. There's also a lot of great resources on the NECMEC website for kids younger, which is called NetSmarts. It's actually, I have a younger son, and he goes on there and uses that, and it has taught him a lot about being a good digital citizen. So use the Missouri Child Abuse Hotline, as well as NECMEC, but also call your local police department. We are here to answer questions. Even if it's nothing, don't feel like you're bothering us. Call us and let us be the ones to tell you, hey, there's something to be concerned about, or hey, I think you caught it early enough, but these are the steps that I would take to make sure that your child knows A, B, C, and D. We are here to help. We are not here for, just to go be somebody's bad day or anything else, but we're here to protect our communities, and we are happy to help you be the great parents that we know you're trying to be. Obviously, if you're on here listening to this, you're doing your part, so we are here to do ours.